Thank you, Chancellor Syverud, for this honor. Today, I want to share the most important thing that I've learned in over 20 years of taking and teaching college classes. We are all amoebas. I know it sounds strange to hear, but it's true. You, me, your parents, your teachers, Chancellor Syverud, we are all amoebas. That's not to say that we are single-celled organisms. Clearly, we are multicellular. But we are stimulus response machines. When we encounter a stimulus, we have a response. And more often than not, that response is fairly consistent. We consistently move towards things that make us feel good and away from things that make us feel bad. Consider the people with whom you spend time, the media you consume, even your decision to matriculate to Syracuse. Each of those outcomes was the result of approaching one thing and avoiding another. This tendency is evident in the comparatively homogeneous makeup of American neighborhoods by race, socioeconomic class, and political ideology. Like amoebas facing a harsh environment, we aggregate into similar groups for comfort. But this significantly impacts your education, both formal and informal. About half of Syracuse students come from the top 20% of the American income spectrum. Alternatively, half of Syracuse city children are below 20%, in the bottom 20%, which hovers at about the poverty line. Therefore, as a whole, Syracuse students are comparatively privileged. Discussing one's own privilege is uncomfortable. Discussing privileges regarding socioeconomic class in America is especially uncomfortable because it is antithetical to a meritocracy. We react with anger and frustration to these topics because we are psychologically predisposed to avoid uncomfortable situations. But uncomfortable situations define college. You leave behind the things that make you comfortable and embrace new people, new experiences, and new knowledge, both about the world and yourself. I started college as a budding geneticist. At the time, I didn't know that there was a stereotype that women, and especially women of color, were supposed to be bad at math and science. My mother immigrated to the US by herself at 20 years old and earned degrees in business and computer programming. And if you don't mind, I'd like to take a pause right now to wish my mother a happy birthday. In addition, my high school AP classes were mostly girls, and there was racial, religious, and economic diversity. One more shout out for White Plains High School. But when I got to MIT at 16, some of my male classmates told me that I only got in because I was a woman. Some of my white classmates told me I only got in because I wasn't white. And some of my wealthier classmates told me I only got in because I was not wealthy. I was an affirmative action acceptance, and less was expected of me. I internalized these tiny degradations and eventually came to believe that MIT had made a mistake in my acceptance. I felt like an imposter, but I didn't know that the imposter syndrome was a real thing. The work was hard, the partying was easy, and I dropped out a few weeks into my second year. In my time away, I realized that it didn't matter how I got into college. It only mattered that I get through college. I had the opportunity and the privilege to earn a degree from a prestigious university, regardless of others' comments or my own insecurities. Since then, I've earned 5 degrees, 2 bachelor's, 2 master's, and a PhD. believe me when I say, regardless of your background, college will make you uncomfortable. The work will make you uncomfortable. Your classmates will make you uncomfortable. Your professors will make you uncomfortable. I will make you uncomfortable. In my classroom, we discuss complex issues, and conversations often end with more questions than answers. We consider things that we have been actively taught not to consider, and we embrace the resulting distress, anxiety, and discomfort. We don't get angry, we don't give up, and we don't rely on stereotypes. These reactions, although seemingly natural, perpetuate problematic discourse. Instead, we mindfully engage with these psychological growing pains, both within ourselves and in others. I know now that my classmates were probably uncomfortable, and in turn made me uncomfortable because they were uncomfortable with their own discomfort. Many studies document this trend. Like amoebas, we respond to new and difficult stimuli with defensive maneuvers. However, unlike amoebas, we have the capacity to recognize our discomfort and respond in ways that make the world a better place. So today, I leave you with the following. Wherever you came from and however you got here, you all have the opportunity and privilege to learn more about yourselves and respond to new stimuli in ways that are proactive, not reactive. In this process, you will experience severe discomfort. But remember, you are also part of an ever-expanding group of classmates, parents, alumni, faculty, staff, and local community members who are all working to help you get through and emerge a critical thinker and a stronger person. Regardless of your major, by seeing patterns in the world and in ourselves that we have been trained not to see, we become creative, innovative problem solvers and catalysts for change. Thank you. And now, I would like to introduce Andres Laguna, class of 2018, and Senior Marshal, College of Visual and Performing Arts.